Hello, everyone that might be listening on YouTube. Welcome, and I'm going to read a little poetry for a half hour with a few of my friends. So I do this 6:30 every Wednesday on Zoom, and right after that, I put it on YouTube. So let's begin. I like to start with a little body-mind centering, where I rub my hands till they get nice and warm. You don't have to do this, Barbara. You don't do this. And put them right over your eyes where they fit nicely. And a couple more times. So, let me read a few poems from my new book. This is called At the Park. Little children being pushed on the swings scream in sheer joy. Teenagers playing basketball talk loudly with the bravado of young men. An old man shuffles by stiffly. Out of nowhere, a dragonfly flies by, its nearly metallic colors flashing in the sun. How long do they live, I wonder? Not long, I believe. I start thinking about time. Even this great oak I'm sitting under will eventually tire of holding up its massive limbs. It will return to earth. And what of the ground under my feet? It too may fly apart in another big bang. My thoughts turn in circles with no epiphanies. I sigh and feel my breath go out. My body feels solid like the earth. A young girl holding onto a giant dog distracts me. I laugh like a raven making their chuckling noise. I quit trying to figure it all out. I fall into the moment like a blue jay going after an acorn. There is simply life all around me, and most satisfying of all, I know I am alive in it. I don't think I've ever read this one. This is called Heart. It's like I'm living in a deep canyon. There is really no way to climb out. My feelings and thoughts bounce between the walls like echoes reverberating from the past. I only see the sun when it's right overhead. Too soon I'm back in shadows. I can't make sense of it all. Of course there is a river running through, but it's fed by icy snowmelt. I'm afraid to jump in. I may freeze or be carried away. Then one day I see an otter swimming in the river. In an instant I see we are both God's creatures. Without thinking I jump in. I thrash about but soon become acclimated. I let myself follow the current. The walls open up. I see vistas and fields full of plants and trees. I wonder why I didn't jump sooner. Coming onto shore, I bask in continual sunshine. My heart is beating fast. One side is taking in oxygen, the other side bringing it to the cells. Now I experience the breath flowing in and out. And I know my real heart also has two sides. One side feeling the joy of life, one side understanding my place in life. Oh, that's not the end of it. And now finally they meet like long-parted lovers and bask in the eternal sunshine of Source. Oh, I don't think I read this one either. Chocolate. At the store, I look for my favorite chocolate, either 70% or 81%, made with coconut sugar. I usually buy the 70%, 81% is too bitter. It comes in a simple brown box. I can't find it. Oh no, I think. Another small company that couldn't make it. Then I see the company name on a bright pink box. It says raspberry dark chocolate. I buy it and take it home. I notice the box is bigger, but the bar inside is the same size. Now it's 77%, trying to appeal to both sides. I check to see if they have been bought out by some gray corporation. But no, at least not that. Oh well, we all have to impress to survive. Didn't I just buy an expensive pure merino wool sweater with bright stripes? Perhaps we come by it naturally. Doesn't the passion flower blossom look ridiculously beautiful to attract the bee? But what of the glorious red apricot leaf waiting to fall to the dark earth? Perhaps they are announcing themselves to the source, that lovely, invisible beauty.
That's interesting that you went from looking for chocolate candy to that, to the ending.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a 180. Very, very cool.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Well, I like poems that start somewhere and then end up somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
And now it's time for Glenda sent me a lovely poems this week. Just beautiful. Let's see. This is by Glenda Reed, called Writer's Block. Words tumble from my mind and land on a page. I reach for a pen to arrange them after a fashion. I glance out the window when the finch knocks loudly. Apparently a stubborn seed has caused his ire. Perhaps the way the words are being stubborn. As I look down at my paper, so again I drift into a memory that often exists. One who'd run away, eloped with something called time. That's a great line. Only to crawl back through a back window in the dark of my mind, drawing me away once again from my task, traveling paths in gleeful abandon. I notice it's started to rain. I hear the wind as the wind chimes tinkling merrily. Then back to the page. A phrase falls out. I write it, quickly lest it fly away. Suddenly I see it. I've filled all the lines. Distraction has given me the words after all. I think that's one of my favorites of yours, Glenda.
Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful, Glenda.
Thank you. Thank you, Julie.
Words tumbling on the page. Let's see. I guess we start reading other people's stuff. This is a Machu Picchu. This is a Pablo Neruda about Machu Picchu. Then up the ladder of the earth I climbed through the barbed jungle thickets until I reached you, Machu Picchu. Tall city of stepped stone, home at long last of whatever earth had never hidden in her sleeping clothes. If you two lineages that had run parallel met where the cradle both of man and light rocked in a wind of thorns. Mother of stone and sperm of condors, high reef of the human dawn, spade buried in primordial sand. This was the habitation, this is the site. Here, the fat grains of maize grew high to fall like red hail. The fleece of the vicuña was carded here to clothe men's love in gold, their tombs and mothers, the king, the prayers, the warriors. Up here men's feet found rest at night, near eagle's talons in the high, meat-stuffed Aries. And in the dawn with the thunder steps that they trod the thinning mists, touching the earth and stones, that they might recognize that touch come night, come death. I gaze at clothes and hands, traces of water in the booming cistern, a wall burnished by the touch of a face that witness with my eyes the earth's carpet of tapers, oiled with my hands and vanished wood. For everything, apparel, skin, pots, words, wine, loaves, had disappeared, fallen to earth. And the air came in with lemon blossomed fingers to touch those sleeping faces. 1,000 years of air, months, weeks of air, blue wind and iron cordilleras. Well, that's a Spanish word, I don't know. These came with the gentle footstep hurricanes, cleansing the lonely precinct of the stone. Wow, that was a lot of words.
I like the lemon blossom fingers.
Oh yeah, was that in there? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Let's see. There was one by Jane Kenyon. Let's see. She's got. Letter to Alice. Twilight. A few bats loop out of the barn, dip and veer, feeding on flies and midges in humid air. Before the storm, I top dress the perennials with manure, ashes from the stove, and bone meal. The rain soaking through the black and white makes a mad elemental tea. I bought the bone meal up in New London, where the streets are crowded for the summer with stately Episcopalians, and I've noticed that it hardly smells. We made less than usual on the church fair supper held this year in the blazing Star Grange, because of the rain. Down in the valley, where land rich but cash poor, shorter, stouter, and lower church. By now the black flies are biting more out of habit than desire. Graduation night is over. I picked up all the beer cans from the pond road to the bridge. The fully open peonies seem overcome by rain and carnality. I should stake them, white doubles and with a raspberry fleck at the heart, blooming without restraint in the moist summer night. I planted them just like last fall, and this is a good showing for their first year. More flowers, more art, right? I guess she wants Alice to write her. Okay. Here's one by Joy Harjo. It's raining in Honolulu. There is a small mist at the brow of the mountain. Each leaf of flower or of taro tree and bush shivers with ecstasy. And the rain songs of all the flowering ones who have called for the rain can be found there, flourishing beneath the currents of singing. Rain opens us like flowers or the earth that has been thirsty for more than a season. We stop all our talking, quick thinking, to drink the mystery. We listen to the breathing beneath our breathing. We hear now the rain became rain, how we became human. The wetness saturates and cleans everything, including the perpetrators of the second overthrow. We will plant songs where there were curses. Not sure where the perpetrators came from. Guess he lost Barbara. Maybe she
Yeah.
took it off. Well, here's one by D.H. Lawrence, who, of course, everybody knows as a novelist, but he wrote poetry also. Rainbow. One thing that is bow-legged and can't put its feet together is the rainbow. Even if the Lord God shouted, "Attention," it could put its feet together. Yet it's got 2 feet, as you know, and 2 pots of gold, we are told. What I see when I look at the rainbow is 1 foot in the lap of a woman and 1 in the loins of a man. The feet of the arch that the Lord God rested the worlds on, and wide, wide apart, but with nothing but desire between them. The 2 feet of the rainbow want to put themselves together, but they can't, or there'd be a vicious circle. So they leap up like a fountain. He leaps up, she leaps up, like rockets, and they curve over. Yeah, looks like Barbara came back. Okay. From the heart a red ray, from the brow a gold, from the hips a violet leaps. Dark blue, the whole desire leaps, brindled with rays of all the colors that leap and lean over in the arch of the rainbow. They will always do it. The Lord God said so. And there are pots of gold. They are the pails of honey experience hanging from the shoulders of the rainbow. But the one thing that is bow-legged and can't put its feet together is the rainbow, because 1 foot is in the heart of a man and the other in the heart of a woman, and these 2, as you know, never meet. Ooh, okay. Save they leap high, oh hearts, leap high. They touch in mid-heaven like an acrobat and make a rainbow. Yeah. Doing well on time today. Let's see what else I got here. Here's one by a Polish woman. I think she's fairly well known, Wisława Szymborska. In praise of my sister. My sister does not write poems, and it's unlikely she will she'll suddenly start writing poems. She takes after her mother, who did not write poems, and after her father, who also did not write poems. Under my sister's roof I feel safe. Nothing would move my sister's husband to write poems. And though it sounds like a poem by Adam Macedonsky, none of my relatives is engaged in the writing of poems.
Kitty?
In my sister's desk, there are no old poems, nor any new ones in her handbag. And when my sister invites me to dinner, I know she has no intention of reading me poems. She makes superb soups without half trying, and her coffee does not spill on manuscripts. In many families, no one writes poems, but when they do, it's seldom just one person. Sometimes poetry flows in cascades of generations, which set up fearsome eddies in family relations. My sister cultivates a decent spoken prose. Her entire literary output is on vacation postcards that promise the same thing every year, that when she returns, she'll tell us everything, everything, everything. It was funny.
I bet she smiled the whole time she was writing that.
I've always known her to be very serious, actually. Her poet. Let's see. Now let's read a little Tufu. Coming home late at night. At midnight, coming home, I passed a tiger. The mountains black. Inside, they're all asleep. Far off, the dipper lowers towards the river. Above, bright star grows great upon the sky. With candle in the court, I glower at two flames. The apes are restive in the gorge. I hear one cry. Whitehead, old no more. I dance and sing, lean on my cane, unsleeping. And what else? And one more by Tufu. Snowstorm, tumult, weeping, many new ghosts, heartbroken, aging alone. I sing to myself. Ragged mist settles in spreading dusk. Snow scurries in the coiling wind. The wineglass is spilled. The bottle is empty. The fire has gone out in the stove. Everywhere men speak in whispers. I brood on the uselessness of letters. And let's see, I have a James Wright. Here's a little one. Today I was happy, so I made this poem. As a plump squirrel scampers across the roof of the corn crib, the moon suddenly stands up in the darkness, and I see that it is impossible to die. Each morning of time is a mountain. An eagle rejoices in the oak trees of heaven, crying, "This is what I wanted." And he was a friend of Robert Bly, so I think he wrote one to Mary Bly, which I think is Bly's daughter. Anyway, it's called Mary Bly. I sit here doing nothing, alone, worn out by a long winter. I feel the light breath of the newborn child. Her face is smooth as the side of an apricot, eyes quick as her blonde mother's hands. She has full, soft, red hair, and as she lies quiet in her tall mother's arms, her delicate hands weave back and forth. I feel the seasons changing beneath me, under the floor. She is braiding the waters of air into the plaited manes of happy colts. They canter without making a sound along the shores of melting snow. Oh, I like this one too. A blessing. Just off the highway to Rochester, Minnesota, twilight bounds softly forth on the grass, and the eyes of those two Indian ponies darken with kindness. They have come gladly out of the willows to welcome my friend and me. We step over the barbed wire into the pasture where they have been grazing all day alone. They ripple tensely. They can hardly contain their happiness that we have come. They bow shyly as wet swans. They love each other. There is no loneliness like theirs. At home once more, they begin munching the young tufts of spring in the darkness. I would like to hold the slender one in my arms, for she has walked over to me and nuzzled my left hand. She is black and white. Her mane falls wild on her forehead, and the light breeze moves me to caress her long ear that is delicate as the skin over a girl's wrist. Suddenly I realize that if I stepped out of my body, I would break into blossom. And here's another one called Milkweed. While I stood here in the open, lost in myself, I must have looked a long time down the corn rows beyond grass, the small house, white walls, animals lumbering toward the barn. I look down now, it's all changed. Whatever it was I lost, whatever I wept for, was a wild, gentle thing, with small, dark eyes, loving me in secret. It is here, at a touch of my hand. The air fills with delicate creatures from the other world. Lovely. Let's see. So, hey Brenda, I have one by your friend Melanie Green. Mountains come to me. I lie so still in the room of walls and stared at ceiling. Everything I have I give away, even worry. All silences and dark-filled corners are mine. Spin your fast world, I am mooring. My prayers bring dawn in the cobalt dusk. My eyes pull the stars from the night.
Nice. I was thinking of actually sending you a poem that her mother wrote.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I'll do that.
Maybe I'll read one more by her. She suffered from chronic fatigue a good deal of her life. This one's called Another Day on the Couch. Fatigue burns me with a power that leaves me hollow, fires me empty as a shotgun shell, spent thunder, dark lightning. Fatigue carves me empty as a wooden bowl without fruit on a forsaken table. Fatigue corrodes me, exposes, crushes me, leaves me nothing but a thin love for my own breath. Yeah. Well, I think it's Mary Oliver time. Let's see. This is called Desire. So long as I'm hanging on, I want to be young and noble. I want to be bold. So said the great buck named Swirler as he stepped like a king past me the week before he was arrow killed. And so said the wren in the bush after another hard year of love, of nest life, of singing. And so I say every morning just before sunrise, waiting at the edge of the dark ocean. And of course, her beloved Percy was her dog. I asked Percy how I should live my life. Love, 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 says Percy, and run as fast as you can along the shining beach or the rubble or the dust. Then go to sleep. Give up your body heat, your beating heart. Then trust. Morning at Blackwater. For years, every morning I drank from the Blackwater pond. It was flavored with oak leaves, and also, no doubt, the feet of ducks. And always it assuaged me from the dry bowl of the very far past. What I want to say is that the past is the past, and the present is what your life is. You are capable of choosing what that will be, darling citizen. So come to the pond or the river of your imagination or the harbor of your longing and put your lips to the world and live your life. That sounds like a good one to stop on. Well, this is so fun having everybody here. All of you have a lovely week, and I'll see you all next week.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, Glenda.
Thanks, John. Everyone have a great week.
Thanks, Joey.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, John. That was fun.
That was good. Yeah. Okay.
Right,
Bye.
all right. Bye-bye, all.
Bye-bye.